Among the small cap crypto meme coins, Shoggoth is by far the best performer. Now the question is, what's driving this rally? Who's actually buying here? Who's selling here? How much longer could this rally potentially last? Let's have a look at some on-chain analytics most people are not looking at. Here, this is what I'm talking about. Shoggoth is up 700% in the last week alone. And today we have seen the price triple. Now there's a misconception that all of the altcoins are currently going up. That's actually not true. The Bitcoin dominance continues to climb, so Bitcoin becomes a more and more important part of all of crypto. It's only the meme coins, it's the very risky altcoins that outperform. The market is clearly splitting up. On the one hand, we've got the people that simply just allocate to Bitcoin, that want to diversify away, say, from the stock holdings, and there is the active traders that want to get the 10x, maybe 100x returns. The market in the middle, the GameFi tokens, the DeFi tokens, they are clearly lagging behind, and this will probably continue for a while. Now, Shoggoth is part of the Pump.Fun ecosystem, which is the launchpad of meme coins on the Solana chain. And when we look at the top performing crypto categories in the last week, it's all meme. It's Pump.Fun, it's the Boys Club, it's Elon Musk inspired, it's frog themed. There's no DeFi here, there's no GameFi here. There's no infrastructure. All of those tokens are not interesting. All the gains are currently made in the hyper risky category of Pump.Fun. And so within Pump.Fun, Shoggoth was one of the best performers in the last week. We've already talked about Fract, Act and Peanut on this channel. And the reason why Shoggoth is worth having a look at is because it's in the sweet spot in terms of market cap. It's small enough to still 10x, but it's not that small that we might expect a rug pull tomorrow. Because it's questionable how much more upside there is for a meme coin that's already at the 2 billion mark. Shoggoth is still at 91 million. And it's not just in the 5 million where we could drop by 90% tomorrow. Now this channel is about being early. It's about finding meme coins that are just in the right spot. Now we don't just want to buy meme coins on random hype. We want to do data-driven decisions. And that's why I always look at the on-chain metrics here. I want to find out who's buying, who's selling. And the nice thing about Shoggoth is that all of the trading still happens in a decentralized manner. So we can look at all the transactions on the Solana chain. There are no black boxes yet, no centralized exchanges where we don't really see what's going on inside. Check this out. This is the trading volume of Shoggoth, and 90% happens on Radium, which is a decentralized exchange. What I find interesting, and this is the first hint of what might happen at some point, there is a little bit, a tiny sliver of trading volume on xt.com. Now, xt.com is a white labeled Binance. So you're not able to buy this on Binance directly, but it appears as if the ecosystem is already playing around with the token. Now with every meme coin that's very risky, especially the ones that recently rallied, it's very, very important to look at the on-chain data to try to figure out what's actually going on, because there are a lot of pump and dump schemes as well. A first hint, one thing that I always like to do as a first step is to look at the numbers over here on dexscreener.com. So you don't need any fancy tooling, you just go to dexscreener.com and you plug in the wallet address. And of course we can see the price appreciation in the last 24 hours, but we can also see what's driving this. For example, there's roughly 500 more buyers than sellers, and the ratio of buyers to sellers is 52 to 48%. Now the buying to selling volume is somewhat equal. What does this tell us? It tells us that the sellers tend to move more dollars than the buyers do. And this is no surprise because the price already went up that much. When you're buying a meme coin, you probably have a somewhat fixed dollar amount that you bet, right? Might it be $1,000 or $5,000? When you're then selling after a 5 or 6x, of course the selling transactions are larger. So it's no surprise that we see this disparity. This is actually a very healthy development. It means that people are taking profit and that we are unlikely going to see an 80% drop in the next week. Now here's a mistake I see many people do. Many people simply do their research by looking at websites, etc. I do not think that we can get an edge in the market by looking at websites. Websites are nice stories. Websites have some interesting entertaining stuff, but they don't really help us become better than others, right? This is a player versus player game. We need to have better analytics than the others, and we don't get that data from the website. If you feel like wasting time, then feel free to read those comics, but don't expect that you will be an above average trader by doing this. Let's first have a look whether or not the numbers align. Let's first have a look if the social metrics make sense relative to the on-chain activity. Because if there is somewhat of a discrepancy, we could see potential manipulation, and that's That's not good. We stay away from those tokens. Now here's the Shoggoth Twitter account, or the account on the X platform. And that account currently has roughly 5,500 followers. In Telegram, we've got around 2,000 members. And on the Solana chain, we've got roughly 7,000 holders. So all of those numbers align. They all make sense. There's no 10x number in one of those numbers that would indicate manipulation. Now let's dive deeper into the on-chain metrics. Here's a chart that I look at for pretty much any video on this channel. And that's the number of first-time traders in purple versus recurring traders in orange on the left, and the number of token transactions on the right. Now we can see how there was quite a lot of new first-time traders in the last 3 days. That's very positive because a growing investor base means that the price can stabilize at a higher price. We can ignore the latest data point because today isn't yet over. We also see how the number of token transactions were much higher than they are recently. Yet the price during this rally is way higher. What's going on? Here's one first hint of what's going on. On the left side, we've got the trading volume in US dollars. On the right side, we've got this normalized to 100% for every day. And again, we see our two waves, with the second wave having less trading volume than the first one. However, when we look at what kind of wallets hold how much of the trading volume over time, we see that small retail tends to decline, and we see that more and more trading volume now happens by the larger players. Now the segregation is made the following. Small retail is all the wallets that have less than $1,000 worth of the token. Medium retail is everything up to 10,000. Large retail is everything up to 100,000. And the whales is above 100,000. Now we can also count those wallets. On the left side, small retail. On the right side, the whales. In the middle, the medium-sized holders. And now we do the segregation not in terms of US dollars, but in terms of minimum token holdings. So it's now 10,000 tokens on the left, which currently corresponds to roughly $800 worth of the token. In the middle, it's $8,000. On the right, it's $80,000. So we go a 10x with each of those charts. We can clearly see how there's some growth among small and medium-sized retail. The number of whales isn't growing though. Now, how much of all of value is held by small retail? It tends to decline. Again, we've got our two waves, but the value that's held by small retail didn't really change across those two waves. But again, the price did change quite a bit across those two waves. So retail held much more, relatively speaking, of the supply during this rally than it did during the current rally. The price went up by 140%. The value of the holdings by small retail did not go up that much, only very slightly. Medium-sized retail bought a bit more, still not as much as the price went up. Large retail bought even more. But here we go, here are the whales. They seem to be mainly driving the current price action. Now, here is what I think is happening. I believe that more and more whales are now buying into the pump fund ecosystem, especially into the tokens that might get listed on the centralized exchanges in a while. Whenever there's a centralized exchange listing, the price of a token can go up very much. And we've seen 10 and 20x returns after the listing of Peanut and ACT on the Binance Smart Chain. The great speculation is that more of those pump.fun ecosystem tokens are going to get listed on the centralized exchanges, increasing liquidity, increasing the price. Now, how can we find tokens like this very early on? Before I talk about this, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos on various meme coins regularly over here. I hope to provide some value with the analytics. Let's have a look at the Peanut token. So the largest of the pump.fun ecosystem tokens, which went up by 1,447% in the last week, which is currently at 2.2 billion with a price of $2.18. Now remember those $2.18 because we got a buying signal of Peanut when it was still at 3 cents. That was on the 3rd of November. Crypto Banter bought into Peanut. And so since then, the price went up by 4,700%. Now, what's the trick here? The trick is to find wallets of influencers, of top traders, of people that move the market, find those wallets first, then track those wallets and then copy trade them. Buy early before they announce this, say on their YouTube channel, before they pump up the token. Crypto Banter has more than 1 million subscribers on YouTube. And through various methods of on-chain analytics, we found 33 of their wallets. In total, we track more than 421 wallets. We've also got wallets by Kyle Chessy. He does also very nice early plays. We've got 12 of his wallets. Or here's somebody that goes into the even smaller market cap coins, Crypto Gains. We've got 55 of his these wallets. And so I strongly believe in this strategy. I think it's way better to follow the people that have a good track record, that have some influence, that trade very well. Follow those people, get inspired by those kind of trades, rather than looking at a list of random meme coins and try to get an edge that way. I believe the strategy is that useful that I've made 8 dedicated tutorial videos on just that approach. How can we find various influencer wallets? How can we then subsequently track them? And how can we in the end interpret the signals that we get from the tracking? This is all part of the premium membership. It's not just about wallet tracking. It's also about on-chain analytics, right? The graphs that we looked at today. It's also about risk management, about diversification, etc. Feel free to check it out. It's more than 100 tutorial videos in total. Now, once we've got a signal, we of course also need to discuss when to buy, when to sell. We need to compare on-chain analytics, etc. So there are dedicated altcoin chats on the individual alts in premium as well. So feel free to check it out. It's currently $125 per month. The price will increase the next week, so feel free to lock the current price in. There is also a 1-week money back guarantee. So in case you don't like premium, in case you do not make money, just message me within the first 7 days and I'll refund you 100%. There's really zero risk for you. I am considering to buy Shoggoth as well. I haven't bought any yet, but I am considering to buy some after releasing of this video. I don't like to pump and dump coins and to buy before releasing a video. If I ever buy before releasing, I mention it in the video as well. So far, I haven't bought any. If you got some value out of this video, feel free to subscribe. I appreciate exactly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. Helps the channel grow. See you in the next video or see you in premium. Cheers.